Yo, what's up? This is Splendid Radio on Pharcyde TV with my co-host Jeremy Scipio.
What's going on, people?
And our guest NSRIV.
Good, what's good, what's good?
Hey.
Yeah, man. I had to pull you in, man, because hold on, let me just that was just that was very unprofessional. We had to just mute that out. I reached out to you because I saw you on Young LA's on an Instagram post that he had posted up, and he was at the car auction, and you were with him, and I don't know, I think you were buying a car. I'm not sure if you were buying a car or what you were doing, but that caused me to take a peek at your Instagram page, and I was pleasantly surprised when I went to your Instagram page, because I'm all about like not super self-help stuff, but like motivation that I can just pull from whatever I can pull it from. I kind of told you my story when we had our first conversation. So I look at it like, man, I pull motivation from wherever I can pull it from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with I look at the Gary V's and the different cats that have this, that, and the third to say, but there's somebody that I look at that's not really in my trajectory. You know what I'm saying? Those are people who are, there's a lot of marketing behind them. They may have some good things to say. I know, most of them, they can come with a good one-liner, two-liner, a good little meme, or a good little 1 minute of social media content that'll keep you tuned in to make you feel, whatever. But when I looked at your Instagram page, I was kind of like, man, this is a cat that kind of looks like me, reminds me of a younger version of me, because I've always like hustled, like man, I just I'm a workaholic. I'm just all about even when I didn't know what financial literacy was, I've always been about financial literacy. And my thing is get as many gooses as you can to lay golden eggs. And then all you got to do is walk around and collect eggs and make sure you keep them fed and they got a little water. And if they need antibiotics, you throw that off in there too. But your gooses will take care of you. So when I saw you, I was like, man, I got to have a conversation with this guy. And then on top of that part, the physical fitness part, as well as the philanthropist part, which that we're going to get into the interview, but I just got to kind of build up who you are to people that might not know. So, I'm the kind of guy, I have a pantry and I'm a bachelor. So I go to Costco and I buy just different stuff. So I may end up with something that I bought that seemed like a good idea at the beginning, but it wasn't a good idea. So I'm the kind of guy like, man, I'll go and drop it off where I see little homeless people at. Not so much I'm dropping it off because I want to keep them there and have them be a nuisance to the neighborhood or whatever. But it's more like, man, if I'm not going to eat it, and if it's here, let me move it to somewhere where somebody's going to get something out of it. And I saw a post that you did where, one, you had like some hot dogs and some hamburgers and you were going to feed the homeless, maybe with some chips or something like that. And then you had made some sandwiches. And what I felt motivated by from that gesture was, man, some people think, okay, if I want to go and feed some homeless people or go and feed some people, I need to go to Popeyes, or I need to go to McDonald's, or I need to go to whatever, or I need to go somewhere and just do this grand, not grand because it's fast food, but I need to do this thing that's like, spending money on big bags of fast food or whatever, and then going and taking it to, the homeless people. But when I saw you did it, you pretty much just did it with like what you had. And I just felt that was dope. And it reminded me of myself because I was kind of like, man, that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I give what I got. Like, man, it's not going to have all these bells and whistles on it and all that, but it'll be enough to nourish somebody and give them more, than what they have, than what they have.
Absolutely.
So with all that, with all that being said, we're gonna hop into the interview, but I just felt I needed to kind of bring to light who you are, and then as we get into the interview, I'll share some other stuff with you where you kind of helped me on a little journey that I'm on right now.
Oh,
but
thank you for the grand entry.
Oh no, man, had to. Where were you the first time you heard hip hop, and what was the song?
Honestly, like as a child growing up, I was moving around, so it's kind of a blur. But I do remember like hip hop that was heavily influenced at the age around 12. That's where I really like listened to it, and it was actually like 50 Cent, man. It was actually, Get Rich or Die Trying. That was like, tank top on with the do-rag with the hat on and all of that. So I feel like that's around the time where I understood it and was heavily influenced by it. So
when did you first realize you had a passion for personal growth?
Honestly, like last year, because I have been on like my fitness journeys, and I just know like once other people start telling me like, yo, you inspire me and to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, all I'm doing is, and bettering myself. And once I seen the type of reaction I was getting from there, I'm like, yo, I just want to be better in all avenues, from health, from mental, from emotional, social, just everywhere. Just want to get better and better and better. So that's where I feel like the passion came from, and it started last year, and now it's just, let's push for more, strive for more. So every year I'm trying to strive for more.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing is when you have people, you don't put too much on it, and that's what draws me back to watch it, because it's like, man, with social media, you just have so many people just doing so many things that are opposite than what they're talking about they're doing or whatever, and it just gets confusing or just whatever. And I feel like with you're basically just documenting a journey. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's the part. So where did you go to junior high school? And when you were in junior high school, what was the poppin' music at the time?
So I went to Gompers Middle School. It's kind of like off of like Imperial and like San Pedro.
Okay.
The music that I do remember, because I do remember like Chirps was out when people had to go to like swap meet to get your ringtones. So stuff that was popular was like, like Soulja Boy, them Franchise Boys, just music with like little dances to it. So I just remember that. And I just remember like, you got to have like, who got the best ringtones? They had like ringtone battles. So that's where
I'm 2 seconds older than you, dog. 2 seconds.
29 next month.
I'm 33. I literally can tell like where I was versus where you were. I'm like 2 seconds. Yeah. That's funny. High school, what did you think would be your path after you graduated?
Honestly, that was like a tough one when I seen that. Because even from high school, I felt like I was like in the middle. Like I had like a choice of like, yo, you could have went to college, you could have done this, or you could have just stayed around and did nothing. And I feel like I didn't go like straight to college, university level, and I kind of stayed around, lingered around, and did like, odd jobs or whatever the case, because we didn't have nobody to really tell us like, yo, man, maybe you should go to school. This would be a better opportunity for you throughout life. So throughout high school, after high school, it was just like a little gray area for me and just doing odd jobs. So in terms of like looking forward towards the future after high school, I didn't have no big super plans, honestly, that came after, just trial and error.
Man, I'll tell you this, man. When I got my first taste of hustle, I went to the mall.
What age?
No, Pete. I was 12.
Okay.
And I was told I couldn't bring no pets home. But I went with this weird dude in our neighborhood, and they called him Snake Man. He used to have snakes. This fool would have rattlesnakes and stuff. Like he was like, I tell Jeremy, I meet people, and for whatever reason, they just at the top of their game, whatever the game is. But this dude's game was like venomous snakes and scorpions and all kinds of whatever. So anyway, I went to the mall with him, and he was going in to get some food for the snakes, and I saw some hamsters. And so someone had brought some hamsters in, and they were selling the hamsters to the pet shop. And I think they were getting like maybe $2 a piece for these hamsters. And then they were selling the hamsters for like maybe $7 at the pet store. And then, you know, I asked the person at the pet store a couple questions. And when I found out that, man, hamster's gestation period is hella fast, man. I want to say it was like a month or like maybe 6 weeks or something. Like it was a dog is like 2 months, but it was way faster than a dog's. But I remember this, when I was getting money off of hamsters humping, and all I had to do was just feed the hamsters, I was turned out, man. I was turned out. Okay. I was turned out, and I went from hamsters to dwarf blue bunnies. Wow. And then I graduated up to dogs. But it was just amazing to me that you could take a resource and put it into something, and then that something you put the resource into like continues to give you money back. And I didn't think of it as financial literacy at the time or whatever, but I mean, I got yelled at about it because I want to say one of the hamsters got out or something like that, might have ran into my parents' room, or it was like we never caught it or something. It was something somewhat heinous behind the whole little thing, but it was worth the lessons. It was worth the lessons that I learned. So when we were speaking, when we had our first conversation, you were telling me something about boxing and that you kind of like sparred in movies and whatever. What exactly did you do, and what was your path to doing what you were doing with that?
Well, just touch on the boxing. That was just something that I wanted to train for, something I just wanted to commit myself to. I'm always trying to like commit myself to something just to try to belong and see how long I could last. As far as like sparring in the movie, it actually, they see me working out in the gym. And so just through Facebook, you know, just from my posts, just how you reached out to me, they had reached out like, yo, we got like a fighting scene. You know, we see your page. We would love, you know, for you to come out and try out. And I was like, all right. So when I did try out, I wasn't even like boxing in the movie. It was like a fighting scene more so. Like they was teaching me like how to flip and all of this other crazy stuff. So that's where that went in terms of the movie and boxing.
Okay, no, that's tight. That's tight. I saw that you've read the Laws of Success, which I read that. You know, I was. It's crazy because I was a gift and a curse of my father, and he's still with us, is that he was a self-help junkie. Like, man, he was just reading and listening to like Dr. Robert Schuller and, you know, Napoleon Hill, Laws of Success, like all this stuff, which he just drilled into me as a child. And like I told Jeremy and yourself before we start the interview, you know, depending on where something comes from, it could be the best thing in the world for you.
Yeah.
But if you're not ready to receive it, man, it's just like wow, 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 wow. You know,
one ear out the other.
Oh man. And so with that being said, what's the best book you've ever read?
Thus far that I took actually serious, that actually changed my life, was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay.
And I read that last year. So just seeing how much of that like effect on my life, just from reading some information that I didn't have, it gets you like, yo, I want to read some more information. I want to get some more information. Where's the other information that could help me in this part of life? So honestly, that was the best book thus far that I've read, and life changer for sure. For sure.
You know what? When you get a chance, I can't remember the author, but I'll say my life-changing book was Who Moved My Cheese?
Oh, yeah. Read that too. That's crazy. That one's great. I like that one because it's a quick read.
It's Spencer Johnson.
There we go.
Yeah. So that kind of that taught me how to pivot. You know what I'm saying? How to just pivot and just never just get stuck. You know what I'm saying?
I love how it was like so quick, and then like it was helpful. So I feel like that's a book that you should like really touch back like every month, you know, like every so often, every quarter, you know, just to refresh your memory on, like you said, it's my pivot So whenever you feel like you falling off or you feel like you in the wrong direction or you thinking too much, just read the book, run through it real quick, and it's really helpful. So I do pass that book along. It's actually passed on to my photographer. So he has it right now. I told him about it and just keep the cycle going.
Tight.
Yeah, man. I was motivated by this book. It's actually a quicker read than Who Moved My Cheese. It's called One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. It really motivated me. I mean, to know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you can only have so many fish, you know what I'm saying? But, and then you thought he was going to go one way with it, like one fish, two fish. I thought it was going to be 3 fish, 4 fish. Nah, he switched the colors, like red fish, blue fish, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like Crip and blood fish, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah,
I just put that down in my notes, man. I'll check it out.
No, actually, I thought you were going to say The 50th Law.
Oh, no.
With that book?
I haven't touched on that one.
Do you know the 48 Laws of Power?
Correct.
Okay. You don't know the 50th Law?
No.
Man, it's written by your boy. So
50 Cent, yeah.
50 Cent partnered with Robert Greene, the 48 Laws of Power, and they made a book called The 50th Law. I don't know what happened to the 49th one, but I think he's just like, let's just skip to here because it's really smart because pretty much the whole book dissects fear and how fear plays a role in your decision making. You know what I mean? And scarcity mentality. I think that a lot of people operate off of a scarcity mentality. And to be honest with you, especially during this whole COVID thing, you could see out of people's mouths, they were projecting what was going on inside of them. You know what I'm saying? And it was just interesting how it applied to that, whatever. And then on top of that, 50 Cent, he kind of BS's a lot too. So it's a lot of that in there too. But but it's actually I don't know, I liked it a lot. But anyway. Who's your favorite boxer? Yeah, let's start with that. Who's your favorite boxer?
I would say just growing up when I was boxing, it was Mayweather. It was just how smart and intelligent he was. Like he was showing people like you have to be smart with it. Mm-hmm. And I know people understood it, but he was like, I guess, a little smarter. He was the person that's probably studied a little more on the test and like, man, how you ace it? It's like I studied the same amount, but it was just like a different strategy he came with. So I enjoyed his boxing, not like fighting wise, but just how he knew how to control everything and come out with a W, because that's all that matters at the end of the day.
What I like about Mayweather the most is that he shows you intelligence is not defined by words. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like a lot of people equate intelligence to the words you use or outsmarting somebody. Mayweather is really, really smart, and he don't know nothing about words or book smarts, but just
uneducated. Uneducated, but intelligent.
But by definition, but that's the problem with the word education, because experience is education as well. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, when you hear Mayweather talk, it sounds like the most gobbledygook crap on this planet. But what he says is actually valid by his actions. Because I just heard him say some stuff. I was like, this dude tripping, but it's all good because he proved it. He goes, I ain't the sharpest knife in the knife drawer, but I'm pretty sharp. But
I'm in there, basically. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm in there.
Well, so, just change the reference then.
If you grab in and grab one, you might end up with me. So yeah.
That's just how he is, man. He'd be like, man, look, I'm like a book. You read me, then you put me down, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up, and then you read the book again. You know what I'm saying? Just like that sometimes. Like, bro, stop. I feel you. Just get in the ring. Yeah. Get another chance.
I don't know how to relate to that one, but yeah.
But anyway, also, this brings an interesting question. I think this question is more interesting based upon generations because it's kind of got lost somewhere along the line. But what's your favorite weight class?
Now, I would say heavyweight because I just feel like they just give like more of a show. It seemed like the punches hurt more. It seemed like they got to train harder because they bigger. It's like watching two giants fight. Like
gladiators.
I'll say heavyweight. It's dope watching them.
So it's like a lost art. That's why I almost feel like
everything switched. So
yeah,
maybe it'll get back to it. Just depending on, like you said, generations and what people like. But the way this internet stuff going, man, you don't know, man.
This is very true.
You might see robots fighting next, man. You never know.
my business partner, the founder of Pharcyde TV, he turned me on maybe about 10 years ago to Aaron Pryor, the Hawk.
Okay.
And Aaron Pryor is interesting because like I'd never heard of him and didn't know who he was when it came to boxing. Of course, I knew Leonard, Hearns, Mike Tyson, you know,
all the top heavy.
Yeah, all these guys. But Aaron Pryor, he's the guy that like Jamie Foxx and all those guys on In Living Color would do those skits where when the bell would go ding, he just, you know what I'm saying? He just come out ready to destroy somebody. Like literally just once like a lab rat. Just when you hear that ding, it's like a trained dog, man. He hear that ding, dude. He coming out, man. There is none of that Mayweather skillfulness, turn the shoulder, whatever. He's coming to knock you out, man. And that was that was his thing. But yeah, that was my favorite boxer. And then also, I wish the kids of today could see who the Mike Tyson that smokes weed and, you know, he's kind of funny and tells jokes and all this kind of stuff. I wish they could see that dude who was a monster, man. Mike Tyson, like, man, once that bell went ding, it was just like, oh my God. It was like, man, he was gonna punish somebody, dude. It was like they were gonna get punished. And we don't see that anymore in boxing, man. We don't see there's more entertainment than the actual art of boxing in boxing right now.
That's because I think it turned to a business. So like,
yep,
we got to entertain for the business. We got to entertain for the the people, the investors. Can't even think of the name, but the people who invest in and the viewers, because now we don't want to watch nothing if it's not entertaining. Mm-hmm. You know, we on our phone for like 10 seconds. And it's like, if it's not entertaining within that 10, 15 seconds, we gonna keep it pushing.
On to the next.
Funny, craziest thing. So I think that's why it got to that. So that's why I be kind of skeptical on betting those games or on fights or whatever, because I think it's something deeper behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So back to how I got turned on to you. I saw you on Young LA's Instagram page and you were at the auction with him.
Yeah.
One of your ways of creating passive income is flipping cars and whatnot. How did you get into that?
Well, flipping cars, like I said, growing up, just being into like the hustle game, just loving the hustle. I always just enjoyed being able to sell something to somebody. That was always the game for me. I'm like, if you could just have, you know, this phone and sell it to somebody, I love it. The keys, water, whatever. The cars came just like a little bit after high school. As I purchased the car and then I like sold it, and I'm like, it was just better money, you know, like you'll turn 500 to 800, and that was better from me back to selling candy, turning like, you know, $1 to $2, and on top of selling the cars, it was like transportation. Mm-hmm. So like I could transport, like I'm in this car, but I could flip into a better car, and I could flip into a better car and better car. You see me a million cars, you think, you know, like I just got $1 million. It's like, no, I'm just buying and selling. So I actually just got into it just off the, you know, upgrading just in terms of hustles. So it wasn't like nothing special. It was like kind of like, you know, off and on throughout the years. And I just buckled down like 2019, took it really serious. At the end of 2019, took it really serious. And yeah, I'm known for it now. That was like my main like source of income.
So without you giving up too much game, with the whole little rental and all that kind of thing, can you give us the light version of that?
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad last year around the same time, and it just opened like to passive income, to having your money work for you. And I was like, yeah, because I don't even like to go out and buy and sell cars, because that's like a job. It's like you have to. If you don't buy and sell a car, you can't pay your rent. So we have to be out there. So I actually grabbed the rental. That's how I linked up with Young LA, because I seen he was at auctions, and I know the auctions, they give you like newer cars with less miles. And I know I needed a great car that could run for a long time, lasting time, so my money could keep making money for me. Mm-hmm. So I just, bit the bullet and went for it. And, that's how me and him linked up through the rentals. And I started the rentals. I made my contracts, reached out to people and just told them. I text everybody in my phone, like, man, I got a rental. If you need a car. And I actually got, one person, I got I got like 90 no's, but I was just, 90 no's away from a yes. And I got my first yes. And I was like, oh, it's on now. And just word of mouth starts spilling out. And then I just remember in the book, it was saying like, once you get one like rental property, you're going to want another one and another one. It's like, you want more and more and more. So, yeah. And
how do you, because it don't seem like there's much security on that. I mean, I'm sure it is.
Okay.
But like, how do you like, because, that's a lot of responsibility going out, or lending your cars or whatever.
Correct. Absolutely.
So, how do you circumvent that? The short version, obviously, because that is kind of personal.
Do you mean like as in risk or just like?
I would say risk and also mentality too, because like I would say that'd be the main thing that prevent me or someone that, like, once again, that scarcity mentality that I was saying.
Correct, absolutely. And it just, not to cut you off, but it just referenced back to the book. It was like the people who are scared, who wouldn't do it, they call it chicken littles. So they just always gonna be scared. It's like you can risk it and do it, or you can never do it and not risk it. So I'd rather just do it, risk it, to see if it's gonna be a risk, if the risks do come, or if they never come, as in like, somebody stealing your vehicle or crashing it, or things like that. But since I know those things are on the risk, I prepare myself for those. So of course you got insurance. Of course you got GPSs. Get 2 keys. It's things like that you want to, just try to help prevent, or just help when those issues do come. They'll just level out. But I mean, I say I'm a risk taker, so I'll take those risks, and when they do come, and we'll handle them. So,
speaking of risk, what's your thoughts on the rise of interest of the cryptocurrency? Especially with the sale of Coinbase. I mean, and then Doggy Coin. It's like, people can't stop talking about it. What's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I love it. It's something new. I just feel like the thing about the crypto, like, I feel like it's just like money. We think it's valuable. We believe it's valuable because we think it's valuable.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, the Dogecoin, it only became valuable because we all said it was valuable. Yeah. And I feel like, and I wasn't in a Dogecoin earlier this year, so I did take a W on that as well.
Wow.
And I just feel like if people put that same belief just within their own system, I feel like they work out. This is nothing, but we all believe it's something.
Yeah.
Now it's valuable. If you put that self on yourself, like, man, this is nothing, but I believe in it. Now it's value, no matter from what you're doing. I feel like the world would be better. You see how now the crypto is better, and it was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole crypto space is dope. It's interesting. I feel like we all should just like really tap into that information, because if the world is really going there, I feel like you don't want to be left behind when cash is really, put down and just straight crypto through everything,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I like how you flipped it on yourself, because at the end of the day, I think that's the full lesson.
Exactly.
People don't, because the thing is like, if you bet on yourself, then you're your own motivator, as opposed to the value of anything outside of you can come and go. That's just what happens. You know what I'm saying? The Titanic was unsinkable. You know what I mean? It was unsinkable. You know what I mean? So at least if you bet on yourself, when you're getting tired, when you're bones, you're like, you know what? Like right now you're young. You're like, I can keep up with these cars, I can keep up with these things. But you're like, man, I can't do this no more, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna go ahead and cash out and move on my life.
Exactly, man. And I feel like never be afraid to take profit. Like if you're on top of the game and you on a W and you want to take it and walk away, man, go ahead. At least you walked out on top. So.
We got a couple questions from the audience.
Okay.
How much does diet play into motivation?
I broke it down like from my fitness, like they say that like the saying, health is wealth. So I just believe like diet into fitness is like, if you don't have the diet, your fitness don't matter. So it don't matter it don't matter if you work out in the gym a whole summer straight. If you don't eat right, your body won't change. Mm-hmm. So you tie those two together, and you tie those two together, and you'll come out with the end result. Mm-hmm. Same thing as in I use that for, I'll say, like my wealth, you know, just like the diet, from diet to fitness to my business. Like, keep feeding your business your diet. What is the diet? All right, what do you need to do to keep this engine running? Keep promoting. Make sure this is clean. Make sure this is that. So I don't know if I really answered it right, but
I think you did a good job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run these two real quick because I think you kind of covered it, but somebody chiming in. I just throw his name out there. It's Catman. He said, "How'd you get into renting cars? Sorry, how do you get into renting cars, and what made you choose that avenue?"
To rent them, like I said, the Rich Dad Poor Dad, just having passive income. So I wanted something where my money could work for me. I was already in the flipping car game, so I always buy a car, sell a car. So if you do buy, you know, say there's a car for $3,000 and you sell it for, you know, $3,500, you made a $500 profit. That's cool. But you could buy that same car as a rental for $3,000. You probably can make that $500 within a month, and then make another $500 within a month, and still have your initial investment, your $3,000. And then when you're done with the car, you can still sell it for your $3,500, which you would have sold it for. Now you'd have made however much profit, way more than just buying it and selling it. So that's why I got into the rentals, for sure.
Yeah. And Mercedes Kaufman wants to know that you're a true inspiration and motivation.
Oh, thank you, man. I try every day, trial and error, and I'm learning. So I appreciate it.
So yeah, I'm on a little journey right now.
Okay, talk to me.
I done lost a couple pounds, man. I won't get
There we go.
I won't get into the number. I won't get into all that. But I will say this. I'm going to have some before and after pictures.
Okay.
I got before and after pictures right now that are incredible.
Okay. Like, I throw them for the screen for the viewers.
I'm looking at this dude in the picture like, man, he did everything. Yeah, he did. You know what I'm saying?
Over what course of time?
Yeah. And it was so funny because I was dealing with a life coach, and one of the things that I mentioned to him, it was just on the consultation part before we go into the actual work. Yeah. But he asked me what some things that I was interested in working on, and so then he's kind of a friend, but I do business with him, and I had called him up on a Sunday, and so before I was going to ask him to train me, I said, can you give me a book? I'm sorry for calling you on a Sunday, but can you give me a book that I can read right now that you feel would be helpful to me, because you know who I am, you know what I'm about, blah, 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 blah. And I knew he was a life coach. And what turned me on to allowing him to coach me was I went into his business, and in his personal office, he had these boards on the wall, and everything was just kind of like meticulously planned out. And then when you go out of his office and you look at his business, everything was just like planned out. And I was like, I don't know how smart he is, but I know he has a skill set that I really don't have, and I need to mess with it. So long and the short, he said, well, Greg, let me give you an example. He said, what's the biggest thing that you kind of have going on? And I said, well, man, I need to lose some weight. I was like, I don't exercise or whatever, but this was about like 2 months ago. No, this was in February. That's what it was. A couple months ago. Anyway, so he said, well, he gave me an example. He said, well, how old were you when you were cool with what your weight was? And then I said, well, I can't really think to how old I was, but I could say I was all right, like around 2006, 2005. He said, great. He said, okay. So 2005, 2021. You didn't get where you are now overnight. So you're not going to get to where you want to be overnight.
I love that.
He's like, you can get there faster, but you have to understand it took a while for you to be who you are right now. And so what we're going to do is we're going to deal with some habits and then retrain you and then get you to where you want to be. And then I was sold. I was like, oh man, if this cat could help organize, if he could help organize my thought process, if he could just basically coach me, because that's what it is. It's like a trainer. Like if you want to lose weight, or kind of like what you do, Nick, like, you know, you train people, you get them from where they are, hopefully to where they want to be, or in the direction of where they want to be.
And I love it, because I keep that same thing. Like, I'm like, people want to change their life within 6 months. I'm like, you've been like this all your life. You know, like, you want to get somewhere physically in 3 months, but you've been doing all these, you know, technically bad things in terms of eating and not working out for 6, 7, 8 years. It don't, if you look on the balance sheet, it don't work like that.
Dude, my greatest story on Friday, because my whole thing was, because I work so much, I would reward myself by great meals on Friday.
Okay.
Half pound of shrimp, half pound of fish, a big cake from King Hawaiian, a pie from King Hawaiian, an enchilada on the side. I told that to Slick.
On the side.
Busted up. Yeah, enchilada on the side.
Who has an entree on the side? That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? Side entree to go.
I got a side T-bone steak.
I wouldn't eat it all in one setting, but my goal would be kind of like to eat it throughout the weekend. But it just wasn't. It wasn't healthy, and it was interesting because part of what contributed, and I'm not going to blame it on the profession, but when I was managing, so I managed and road managed, and so I was just traveling a lot, and like when you go places and they have like these huge breakfast buffets, and then you know you're up all night flying somewhere, and then after the show, you might not want to eat a whole bunch before the show, but after the show at about like between midnight and 2 a.m., you start to get hungry because you're basically been up for the most part of 24 hours or whatever. So you're like, well, I'll eat to get some energy or just whatever. But most of the choices were unhealthy at 2 o'clock in the morning or midnight. You know what I'm saying? And so coming home from being off of the road, it's just kind of like, well, you know what? If I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm going till about 10 o'clock at night, I deserve to eat what I want to eat. But like what I was eating was like, it wasn't nutritious at all. I could just immediately, I could be honest enough to go to that, where like right now, I'm just really on some, I pay attention to my nutrition.
Yeah, just have a nice balance. That's what I tell my clients that work out. Just have a nice balance, man. Like, I know you ain't gonna just switch it around, you know, within 24 hours or a snap of a finger, cold turkey, whatever. But just have some balance, you know. Like if you are gonna eat that, just make sure, you know, you grab a salad a day. You know, have a smoothie in the morning. You know, have a fruit a day, and just start on that system of eating healthy with still what you eating. So then when you balance it out, it'll be right here, and then you will start eating, you know, bad less and start eating healthy more. And I feel like for me, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, we got another question. What is a simple meal prep for someone on a budget? Or if they have to pay you a consultation fee, we understand.
On a budget. Okay. I'll say grab a blender. Grab you some bananas. Grab you some spinach leaf. Grab you some peanut butter. Some almond milk and some honey.
I think we're already above budget right now.
You know what I'm saying? And that's about $15, and that lasts you for a whole week.
Really?
That's for breakfast. Yeah. So that's just like a smoothie a day.
Okay.
About $50. It'll last you for like a whole week just for that. And you can have those in the morning.
Okay.
I have 6 more ingredients.
Okay.
And what I've used on my journey, and I'll say it worked. I will say
lay it out.
I'll say I want to do like a before and after and really put it there. But from what you said right there, we'll say, man, yeah, I've lost my pants hang off me. You know what I'm saying? Like it, like really just purely just from making that adjustment of a shake
Yeah.
In the morning, being conscious of what you eat, and then eating with the purpose of nutrition.
Absolutely.
When I eat, I don't eat. So I still eat bread. I still eat sugar. I still eat whatever. But when I eat with the purpose of nutrition behind the meals that I eat, versus me saying, "Man, I got this craving for some fried chicken. I got this, just whatever." And I'll still eat that stuff, but I prepare it differently. And I honestly, what has led to my journey kind of working out, I cook for myself, man. I really don't eat what anyone has to give me. Like I look at it like this. People say, well, Carl's Jr. has this great chicken thing, or something has something that's not that bad, or El Pollo Loco, or or just like whatever. You got to think of it like this. If you go anywhere to eat where they got about 15 to 20 people working, and they're selling you food, and the food they're selling you is $5 or less, you have to think the nutritional value in that food, man, it's less nutrition than dog food.
There we go.
It's less nutrition than dog food, man.
But it tastes good.
Yeah. And it's made quick.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I think that shake thing, I think that was actually pretty good, man.
So I want to honestly give you my whole secret. From the shake, it was, so I did that, and then for lunch, this was like 2020 and 2019, and then like for lunch, I do a salad, nice like big salad, and then for dinner you will eat dinner. So your dinner can be not just like whatever, but since you had that shake, you had that salad. If you did want some fried chicken or whatever you have, it will be a nice balance. Mm-hmm. So that was my like cheat code, and it worked out. But it's not going to be happening in 3 months. It took me a whole year. But I
was going to say, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jeremy.
So with the salad, was that with meat as well, or it's just like
No, so you can add meat, like you can add chicken, you can do fish. I'm just saying, like, just for it to be full, just make sure you cut up some tomatoes in there, your croutons, just throw your flavor, your bells and whistles. Don't just try to eat just the green leaf, because you're gonna get tired. You're gonna be like, yo, I don't like this. I want some real food. You're gonna get that. So I would say, mix it up, switch it up. Sometimes if you want to do chicken with it, do chicken with it. If you want to do fish with it, do fish, shrimp, just fruit salads. Just try to have different options for when you're making your salads, because they will get tired. Trust me. Mm-hmm. I've been tired of salads where I'm like, yo, I gotta stay away. So yeah.
Nice. I hooked up with one of my friends that's made my journey easier. I have a buddy who grows microgreens and mushrooms.
Wow.
He gifted me some mushrooms that oyster mushrooms. I don't know if you ever had those, but someone was supposed to buy some, and he didn't want them to go bad or just whatever. And so I gave him something for him. So it wasn't just straight free. But anyway, the oyster mushrooms as well as microgreens. And microgreens are good because think of it in terms of how like baby rattlesnakes have a lot of venom in them, because they don't know how to control it, but that venom and everything they have when they're young, it kind of expands and helps them grow to be larger, stronger, whatever. Microgreens is like the most potent a plant or a vegetable will be in its growth pattern. And so when you're eating them, when they're at that level, then that's the nutrition you're getting in. And then for me, I'll kind of mix vegetables into stuff a little bit. Okay. But I really don't like to cook my vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more like if I was to eat, like I love like Indian spinach. Like they kind of cream it a little bit and put the curry and all that kind of stuff. So that would kind of be like my cheat. They put cream in it is what they put in. That would be like my cheat meal. It would be like fast food that's not fast food, but it's not the healthiest. but I really like blended up fresh greens. And in the trip is that your body, when it gets raw food, the nutrition from that raw food, it changes like your hunger pattern, your cravings, your like all that is like totally different.
Yeah.
You know,
Offset. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, man, that's my little rant of yeah, man. It's almost like I'm reborn, man. When you start losing some weight, man, you start making better changes.
You know, the face starts slimming down. People start telling you looking different, you looking good. You're like, all right, you know.
Yeah. So on to the next one, man. Your top 3 rappers. We got to keep it hip hop. You know that, and that's why I keep bringing hip hop into the conversation.
Yeah. So this is not like any particular order for these.
No.
So I picked Jay-Z, Meek Mill, and Nipsey Hussle.
Hey,
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I wouldn't say no order. I just like the gems. You know, Nip and Jay-Z layout, and you know, I always like Meek Mill on some rapping, freestyling, because I'm like into that just a little bit. So he was like that top tier person for me in that category. So those are my 3 right there.
I think your order was the perfect order it should be in.
I love it. Yeah.
What was your thoughts on you saw Mayweather and Logan Paul?
Yeah.
Or you saw the thing with the hat thing?
Hey man, what the hat? That's Jake Paul, right?
That was Jake Paul that did that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just think that whole thing is just entertainment. You know, I just think like they trying to grab, you know, professional fighter, YouTuber / fighter, and just try to put them together just for fun and entertainment. But I got your hat, man. That stuff was funny, man. Like,
you think it was real?
Yeah. I mean, he got it tatted. He got it tatted, and it said "Got your hat." It's funny, man.
Oh, he's crazy.
Yeah,
he tatted. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's on his leg, man. Go to Jake Paul Instagram. I was dying laughing when I seen that. And he was laughing like, "Got your hat." So
they are feeding for attention. Like, what the heck?
Like I said, entertainment. But in terms of the fight, man, I do still think Mayweather will come out on top, only because, you know, he's smart in the ring, man. And it's just like, I feel like it's like, you know, like somebody older and somebody younger. It's like, man, I'll teach you a lesson. Like you may be quicker.
Champ, man. There's no way he's not gonna win. He is.
But see, guys.
But listen, you never.
We did this. We did this with Donald Trump. Y'all don't remember, man. There's no way he's gonna win. He's just a troll. There was no way they would elect this person as the president, and it was 4 years later. He's still president. What the heck? So you mean, and Mayweather's at, I
think it's possible for me.
Mayweather's at 50 wins. Why would he? I mean, come on. Like, what do 51 even a good record to keep over Jake Paul or a Logan Paul?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I thought it was just like an expedition. I didn't know it was going to count towards any boxing record. I said,
I think it will.
Oh wow! If it lose, it will. If he win, it doesn't.
It does, exactly.
I just thought it was like pure entertainment, but I mean, we'll see. Like we'll honestly see, and we'll see the outcome.
All right.
But my question on that: you think he's touching 100 million from that fight?
You talking about Mayweather?
Yeah.
That's how much he's getting.
That's what he said.
That's low.
That question was asked to me, and I was just like, well, you know, ratings and I don't know, you know, promotion.
What's the most he's got from a fight? 150 mil, right? Or 300 mil?
I think 3.
3?
Like 300, like around, like close to like 300.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was say that's kind of low. Weird to say. I think it's kind of low for him, but I mean.
But I still think he promotions. Like, I think it's just not, he not just getting 100 million because he's fighting. I think it's because how he got everything involved. I don't think like, but I mean, I don't know.
No, you have to look at it like a pie. It's gonna be all the items that are promoted, the product placement, the just like all
the bets, the odds. So yeah.
Well, I won't even go to the bets and the odds. I'll just say the type of hat that he was wearing when it got snatched, which I'm sure they talked about it before it happened, and the company of the hat that he was wearing.
It was his brand. It was
okay.
It was a TBE hat, you know, the best ever.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure.
Got your hat. That is so weak.
I'm sure a lot of people bought those hats.
That's so weak. Got your hat.
And you saw like the meme how they had where like he was like reaching for him and all type of stuff. So like I said, it's all entertainment. It's all jokes, man.
It's all trash.
Yeah.
But it's riveting. We watch.
That it's not real.
We got, let's see. I'm gonna ask you this question, and we gotta go back to our regular questions. But what are some of your future business ventures?
Real estate, rental property. And I'm so much of like I don't like to say like I'm independent, like I'm on my own island, but I just believe like I see companies like Turo renting cars. I can do that same thing. I see companies like Airbnb. I can do that same thing. I don't have to do it on that level to make me feel like I'm successful, to make me be like, oh, I got hella numbers or hella people. Like, no, I could just do, you know, my 1, 2, 3 properties and just take they same game plan and just apply it to my life and just make my life more smoother. So real estate, rental properties. Sure.
And another quick question. What do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, on top of all my business. I see warehouses. I see big name in real estate, big name in just motivation, big name in fitness, just NSRIV, just bigger, honestly. So it's really like the same position, but just at a different level because all the consistent work that I just continue to put in and continue to strive. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'll tell you about real estate, and this is something that they won't tell you.
Okay.
Whenever you sell real estate, depending on with capital gains taxes and all that kind of stuff, you generally get taxed at about 35%, unless you roll it over in a 1031 exchange, which the 1031 is where you really don't get taxed if you buy a like property with the money that you get from selling the property. And I say that to you to say, I deal with real estate. Okay. And the thing that they don't tell you is that you're gonna get taxed when you, like, it's real estate wasn't made for you to just flip it and just really just make hundreds of thousands of dollars off of flipping it without enriching Uncle Sam, the federal government as well as the state. There's been things put in place for people like you and me that if we feel like we want to just really start flipping, it's going to be so hard for us to make money, almost the way that entertainers are taxed and all that kind of stuff. Like, they're not going to just let you get it. But how you can make money at real estate is you buy your property and then the income you can make off of the property, the passive income, you know, the cash rents and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's how you make money.
I'm not interested in flipping. I feel like that's work, me personally.
They changed the game on that, man. They took all the fun out of that.
Listen, passive income is it for like my freedom, you know, my time freedom, just being free to be able to do. If I could just sit on my butt the whole month, the whole year without have to actually do any physical work because all my properties is paying for myself, or my passive income is covering all my liabilities, I'm cool. That's how I want to live life. So as of now, in terms of that, I feel like I'm living life because I don't have to work to cover my liabilities at the level that I'm at. So I'm like, yo, I'm successful. And I just feel like it's different levels to it. But for me, for now, I'm good. Like, I'm not stressing. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm a backtrack just a hot sec with this one because I feel like we somewhat covered this, but at the same time, I feel that there's a larger significance to it.
Okay.
What made you start doing a mile a day, and what's the significance of it to you? Because I mean, a mile is a mile. It's 4 laps around a big track or just whatever.
Yes, absolutely.
But with you, and I haven't run nor walked a mile in a very long time. So that being said, so I'm not just shitting on you, on your mile. But I feel that when you post every day about the mile you do, I feel that there's a significance to it more than just the distance of a mile involved in it. And it's more about the consistency and whatnot. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So It started back 2019. I was actually doing like 30-day challenges. So it would be like 30 days I'm eating no meat, 30 days a salad a day, 30 days a mile, 30 days I'm in the gym. It was just like every month, it was just something different and different. And then 2020, it grew to 100 days. It was like 100 days I'm doing these 3 things. It'd be like working out, eating a salad, doing this. And then just for 2021, it was like, yo, I need to find something where I could do every day that's consistent. Like, what can I feel like I can do? I'm like, all right, bro, let's just run a mile. You know, like, it don't matter if you skip, hop, walk it, you know, but just complete it. And I feel like that's something you could do anywhere, no matter what state you in, no matter if you ain't got no gym, no matter if COVID hit, you know, run around your apartment, run around your house, run around the block. So that's where that came from. But just the mile a day keeps me consistent in fitness, but it keeps me consistent with other things. Like, yo, if you're going to do this mile a day, man, make sure you read your book. Make sure you hit the gym. Make sure you just do something that has something to do within life, and just make sure you could do it every day. And just at the end of it, just look up to see, or look back or look up to see like how far or what you accomplished, and just hold yourself to it. So just accountability, just holding myself accountable to 365 miles throughout this year is just something I really look forward to, even when I don't like it. So it just keep me on track of reminding myself of the goals that I set out for myself, and then where I want to be just in the future. It's like, if do this now, and in the future, I know you could do whatever you set your mind out to. So, so that's
man. You my younger, bigger brother, man. You over here giving some games.
Younger, bigger brother.
I really want to, you know, like you said, like how your trainer had his how his life just figured out all his whiteboards from step 1 to step whatever. I just feel like if you know the steps to get somewhere, like if it's going to take you 12 steps to get here, and you know once you complete them, you're going to get there. It don't matter the time. It just matter about the steps. So when I get to 5th step and I'm falling off, at least I know I only got 7 more steps to go to accomplish this thing. So that's where I just be at in life. And you just take every scenario like that, just step by step, man. I get there. I ain't in a rush.
Has your belief system played an intricate part in your success?
Absolutely. You can't have doubt. You know, with doubt, it's not going to work. I just did a video about that like yesterday. And the reason I did it is because when I'm dropping my hustle t-shirts, and I told a friend of mine, like, yo, man, I got, you know, I did these 3 new colors for these 3 new drops. I just put in my order. And he was like, man, maybe you should pre-order and just see and do a color to see if people like. And I'm like, for what? He was like, what if they don't sell? And I'm like, that's the problem. It's always a negative thought first when you're trying to do something. It's always like, what if it doesn't? I'm like, what if it does? I'm like, what if it do work out? It did work out. What if I do succeed? Yeah. Like, so yeah, the belief system played a great big part of my success, and everything I believed and I mapped out is happening now. You know, even this interview, I was like, man, it's dope to be on interviews. I like when people get on interviews. Like, you know, when my interview gonna come, I'm like, I'm just gonna keep doing. I get my interviews, they gonna come. So that's why I'm honored to be on this show, man. And that's all come from belief.
Nah, man, my thing is I feel like I got an eye for spotting talent, man. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know you're gonna be able to help. And I don't mind helping you, but I know you're gonna be able to help.
I don't mind.
My thing is like, you know, reach out. So last question from me. One may come from Jeremy, but
1 second. Can I touch back on that belief?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it. Yeah.
Example. Okay, so when it comes to belief, you gotta think about religion, right? You can't see it, you can't touch it, you just believe it. You believe it's real, right? Same thing within your life. You like within what you want to do, believe that it's real. You can't see it, you can't touch it, but you believe it's real. That's how your mind plays the trick on you into believing it's real. So you can't tell somebody that believes in, you know, God or Jesus or Allah that, yo, it's not real, man, it's fake. They like, no, my belief and my faith is so strong. I know this, and I'll die with knowing that this is real. Same thing with your life and your beliefs. I just wanted to throw that in there. You could go with the last question. No.
Amen. You blessed us with one more. No, that was a beautiful thing. Where do you see social interaction going in the next 2 years?
Just period or for myself?
Oh, period. Yeah.
2 years. I'm like half and half because I feel like it's needed, but I feel like a lot of people are scared. So like I feel like I don't know which side could be scared, like as in my generation or the generation under. I feel like a lot of people don't like to be social anymore. Mm-hmm. So like it's kind of I'm not sure. It's like 50-50 with me, man.
Well, I'll tell you this, man.
Go ahead.
My pops is about 80 years old. Okay. And boy, the moment he got that second shot, boy, he was out. He was in them streets, man.
Yeah. Okay.
He was in them streets, like, man, and it was crazy because, you know, looking at him, you know, him not being able to go out and catch the drink at the little local watering hole with his homeboys and everything, it did kind of wear on him, man. I could say I could see that it had aged him, even to the point of where I set up a little socially distanced eat and sip in the back parking lot of his office, so that his homeboys could just see each other in the face, you know, because they're not Zoom, you know, the Zoom is not their thing and all that, you know, even though they'll hop on it for these little, like my dad's on different little boards of this and that, and his homeboys are on little boards or whatever, but being able to actually sip some whiskey and drinks and eat some wings with your homeboys, you know what I'm saying? Even at a distance, it's like, that's really needed. I know for me, one of my close homeboys, he's a high school teacher. And he was just like, man, he just felt for the kids so bad because with social media, they're already not social. You know what I'm saying? They're already disconnected from actual interaction and whatnot. And he was like, man, these kids are just eating and playing games and getting caught up into the next thing. And I'll tell you something crazy, that because I went fishing with him in March, and we drove to Santa Barbara, and he told me something, man, that kind of blew my mind. He said, because we were talking about religion, and he said, man, the things that I've seen while teaching high school would blow your mind. And then I was just asking him, well, do kids that you're dealing with right now, do they seem to have more faith in religion or faith in life or less faith or whatever? And he's like, dude, their God is Instagram. Yeah. Their God is the iPhone. And I'm just like,
man, man, it's these Instagram, like the famous, popular, whatever, like that's their new God. Come here. Mm-hmm. So, and it sucks, but I mean, that's where it's coming to, and that's where I try to. It's not why, but I give them the real. Like, I don't want you to see all the just glamorous stuff. Like, I want you to see the behind the scenes. Like, no cut for a whole month because I want to get this thing done and goals done, and I'm waking up every day and I'm showing you just the real deal and the real spill that you can play it both, man. Don't believe everything you see. Mm-hmm. You know, like that, and that's the problem now. Like, people believe everything they see, and they just feel like they could do it, and they end up doing anything and everything to do it, and it sucks, man. And it's all for, like you said, for the Instagram. It's all for a picture. It's all for a video. It's all for them to feel like they liked or they love. And I'm just like, it's I don't know. That's why I'm like, I'm 50-50 with it. I don't know where it's gonna go.
Well, I'll say this, man. My life is dope in real life, man.
Here you go, man.
I may post a meal here and there, or, you know, I'll post my mom's. I may post a homie's birthday or something like that. But I don't put 20% of my life on the internet, man, because it's kind of like, it's not for me to compare myself to somebody. It's not for me to try to entertain or have somebody create I look at it like this. My birthday was last week. Okay. My real ones called me. My real ones called me. My real ones showed up, popped up at the office or whatever. And that's like my personal life. Not to say that I deal with people who might not have known or just whatever, but I just say, I'll talk to Jeremy outside of doing the podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'll call Jeremy after we do a podcast. Like, we do this, but he's my homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people are just caught up in that quick instant gratification. Who looked cute today? Who didn't look cute? People take pictures next to a celebrity and hey, I was hanging out with. You know what I'm saying?
Photoshop, all type of stuff out here, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I just
don't make fun of my IG.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm not that good at it. I'm trying to do something right now.
Yeah, stay authentic. You know, be your. You know, if you do put a lot of stuff on Instagram, you know, like myself, just make sure you know who you are. And make sure you love yourself for who you are, and don't change it based off of anybody else's life and how they living. You know, you got your lane, they got theirs, and just be happy with it. You know.
Cool.
We have another question from the Peanut Gallery. I mean, it's good to be chiming in though. This comes from Mercedes. Do you have any motivational speakers that inspire you?
Oh, absolutely. E.T. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. That's my number one. He helped me out just over the years. And what's crazy about it was like I had like an ex-girlfriend hit me up. It's like, yo, I'm just now listening to this like randomly, like I'm just now listening to him like on a daily or weekly basis. And I noticed like you was listening to him like 3, 4, 5 years ago. And like I just know like if you've been listening to it that long, I know where your mind is at. Like I see why you're doing what you're doing and how you're doing it. I'm like, absolutely. So Eric Thomas, man, number one.
Yeah.
Pop preacher, man. So
and
y'all tap into him, man. He gonna get you on that 120 grind, man, that consistent everyday grind. And that's where I get a lot of my own ideas at, and that's what I'm doing, you know, everyday type of things. Can you do it every day?
Mm-hmm. And like when we had our first conversation, got to give it up to brother Inky Johnson. Very motivational. He's the one who pulled me into seeking out motivational people online. Like he's the guy. Like I saw his story and just looking at his arm.
Wow. He got a wild one. Everybody got one.
The one thing Inky Johnson said that I resonated with is people of the day have counterfeit passion. And counterfeit, like it's like fake watches, fake, you know, fake jewelry, fake whatever.
That's heavy. Yeah.
But it's like you can't have counterfeit passion, man. Like your passion has to be like, for me, I can work from 5 a.m. till 10 p.m. I'll get a little tired, but I won't get bored. I won't get frustrated because I'm passionate about what I do. It's not like, honestly, I feel guilty when I'm not back at my office sometimes, knowing that I got stuff there that I need to do. But then it's like, okay, you can't just be this thing that is just a machine. Like you gotta force yourself to just be home. Like it's okay to be home for 9 hours and sleep, take a shower, get yourself together, whatever, and you can come back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But you just don't have to go full force. But no, with all that said, man, we gonna have you back, Nick, man. I'm
glad, man. I'm glad, man. I was gonna say that's dope, man. Check back in with me. Hit me up. I don't mind being on. I love it. You guys dope.
Nah, man, like the people loved you, man. They, you know, they, like literally you inspired
I can't see none of the stuff that they see, but thank you guys. You know, I don't care about the accolades, but thank you guys who are tuning in, who are learning something, who are shouting me out, asking questions. It's dope, man. Appreciate it.
You got anything you want to shout out? You want to let us know about your merch, your things?
Yeah. So I decided, like, I found my lane and within the gear, you know, NSRIV. For those who don't know, it's my whole name. It's Nicholas Sylvester Robinson IV. And I'm building this on just building generational wealth for those that's under me, like my family. So I do have merch that's just going to drop every other Wednesday for now. It's called my Hustle Tees. I already dropped number 1, Hustle Tee last week. So number 2 is dropping on my birthday, May 19th. And the dopest thing about it, it's only $10, okay? It's only $10. So make sure y'all tap in every other Wednesday. And I'm gonna give it to y'all, all right?
Okay.
Cool.
I'm gonna make sure I send y'all some gear. So make sure y'all send me some y'all sizes, man. I'll shoot y'all some Hustle Tees just off the love for having me on the show. I truly appreciate it.
I appreciate that, man. Seriously. Yeah.
No, tight. You got anything you want to shout out, Jeremy? Oh, and by the way, Nick, Jeremy's a comedian. If you didn't know, but he's a
I think I seen his I think it's his name. It said Jeremy the comedian or
Jeremy Comedy on IG.
comedy. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm doing a show November. Yeah, right. May 20th. May 20th at the Comedy Chateau. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
May 20th. And what time would that be?
That'll be probably 7:38.
Okay. I'm just now flying back in on that day. So
No, I hear you, bro. Don't worry. I literally I do this so much, it's just like whatever.
I'll pull up. Like the thing about it is I love comedy. You know, I love it. Like I'll ask my lady, man. I'll turn on some comedy, like stand up from like Kevin Hart to Gary Owen to anybody, and I'll just like listen to it and I'll fall asleep. I've been like that as a child. I used to watch the BET. Comic View. Yeah. I forgot what it was named, but I know it came on, I think like 10 o'clock or something. And
Comic View, man. I was obsessed. Yeah.
And I used to just go to sleep, and now it stuck with me. So stuff like that is like, to me personally, like things that I like to do. Like, what's on your to-do list? Let's say the comedy show. Let's say the comedy club. Like, that's something. So for sure, check you out.
Yeah, man.
With the information, and I'm there.
Absolutely. It's funny. I was with this past weekend, George Lopez just opened up a restaurant, like in Hermosa Beach, whatever. So I go there with the homie, and D.L. Hughley was there, and I met D.L. before, but he remembered me, and I was just thinking, like, man, that's crazy how I used to be obsessed with, just like you said, watching late night Comic View, and I didn't realize the big influence that it have on me to this day. You know what I mean? So be careful what you let your kids watch, because they might turn it into a career. By accident.
I was a kid before, so I know.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate it. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me. It's an honor. Truly blessed for that. And when I can come back, man, just send me the invite, and we just set it up again. Make sure you guys send me your size. I seen some tees, man. I appreciate it. I see everybody on their hustle. So, man, let's stay on it. All right.
Let's
yes,
go.
Sir.